So I'm really sold on this as being the background. However, I absolutely love this page, but this just works so perfect. The only thing is I don't need the sky because I'm going to be replacing that, so I can salvage most of this page on that side, so I think it will be okay. So I'm going to have him, I don't know how it's going to work yet, if I'm going to cut the people around it, or yeah, I'm not really quite sure on that. But I also want to have there be a galaxy in the background. So let's see what we have for options for that. Okay, so first things first, I guess we'll cut this background out. Hopefully I don't rip the frame. I think that's a pretty good fit. Now I'm wondering, I still feel like there's something missing. I think I need to cut these guys out first a little bit so that they're a bit more on top of the image. I think we're gonna just do this and see what we feel. So let's get to the gluing process. And then put this underneath something heavy so that it flattens properly. Okay, so for this one, I'm liking this spot here. And I kind of want like a fish jumping out. I think that could be funny. I will cut the back out when I'm ready to glue, but for now I think I'll try to cut, well, let's see if we can find a fish first. I think I like this frog idea. These are the only ones I could find. These two are the same image, which is a bit unfortunate, but these are the only frogs I could find. I'm not sure where I could put him that would like feel a bit more natural, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to play around and see. So I've come up with this. I meticulously cut out all of these little frogs and some of these trees, and I feel like there's still something missing, and I don't know what it is. I don't know, like, if I want to cut out the sky again and put in another galaxy. That seems a little bit too samey. I thought about cutting out the water bits and putting like even a galaxy in the water. I'm not sure how that would translate. It might work out cool, but at the same time, you know, I have no way of really testing it until I just go ahead and cut, which might be a mistake. Also, these frogs kind of disappear in these trees, which there's nothing really I can do about it. And then this guy, he doesn't really like suit the environment very well because he's facing like a weird way. I thought if I had him like kind of in the trees watching these guys jump, might be kind of funny. But again, he kind of blends in. So I'm kind of stuck on this one. So I got this scene. I thought I'd put him here. I found a couple from my dinosaur book. He could be on the rocks, and he could be on this rock, and then this guy could just be in the sky. I was thinking something like that. I got these all cut out, and I do like how it looks, so I will go ahead and glue this one. And as I was doing that, I just had this one still off to the side, and I was looking at it, and I do like it. So I think we will just continue, put the glue on and put them all in their places, and yeah, we will carry on. All right, so I have mounted these 3 images, and I'm just going to grab my paper cutter so that I can get nice, clean, straight lines. I am back to continue this series of the close shave is what I'm calling this series. It's just this, it's different guys, but it's just men at various stages of shaving their face. So I want to keep them all roughly, like, these aren't all the same size, as you can tell, but I do want to try and keep like the same-ish size, you know what I mean? I'm just going to have a look and see what kind of backgrounds jump out at me for these guys. I don't know how many I will get in today, but that's what the goal is. So I've decided on these pairings. The only thing I have to figure out now is the added element, because all of the ones in the series so far have an added element. I guess this one was a little bit different because it has like 2 backgrounds, but then this one has the prehistoric creatures, and then this one has all of the frogs. So now we've got to find, I know for sure I have not cut out any cars, so I could see if I could find some cars, some smaller cars, maybe even just one, I don't know. And then what do we need? We need a car. We need, I don't know for this one. I mean, my first thought was like penguins or polar bears, but then I was like, well, is that too expected? But then so is a car. So not super sure where these are gonna go. I hope they will go somewhere fun, but possibly penguins or polar bears, cars, whales. This one's gonna be here. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know where this one's gonna go. We'll have to find out. And then this one. You know what would be kind of fun is if like we had some snakes. How do you incorporate snakes? Or something colorful maybe. I don't know. These two I'm a little bit unclear as to where it's gonna go. So yeah, let's just kind of work with what we know we want to look at, and then see what we can find that might work for that. So I finally found some options. Okay, so let's start with this one. This one I have chosen, okay, this is the background. I want this guy to be in here somewhere. I thought penguins or polar bears. So I've got these penguins. I could cut them out. I don't know how I would. I mean, that I would have to cut them out like super tiny, like in each of their like wings and feet and everything, in order to sell this illusion. So I could put them here, probably. But then I don't know, am I making it too predictable? Like, of course you find penguins and polar bears in this kind of a setting. This one I'm actually excited about. So this one, I thought, well, let's switch up the background because this one is not a photo. It's an illustration. So I was thinking of putting him like on this grass in the background. So still have the this dinosaur in the foreground. And then just put him somewhere around here, I think. And then I wanted to cut the neck of this dinosaur out and have it curl around the frame of the mirror. This one, I really wanted to have like a whale or a dolphin jumping out of the sink into the water. But I don't have that many like ocean creatures actually, like above water. I don't really have that many. I found this, like, I don't know what this is, a paraglider or something. Parasailor, I don't know. He doesn't really work. I don't like him in there. So yeah, so I'm still stuck on this one. This one I think will be fun. So I still like the idea of the rainbow kind of filling up the sink here. And then I wanted to play off the fact that we're working with a rainbow here. So I was like, well, butterflies can be colorful. And then as I was looking, most of the butterflies are like yellow and orange. So not that colorful. But I did manage to find like a red one and then this blue one. But other than that, there's not a lot of color variation, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I still think it could work. I don't know if I should cut around that part of the rainbow road and put a different background on there. I sort of feel like I should, like, make it a little bit more psychedelic because the rainbow vibe. This guy. So the plan is to have the sink like over the road and to have something kind of coming out. I don't really think that's gonna work, but I mean, I could put this giant car in there. I could put this raft of explorers in there. Here's a couple of wagons I could put in there. Here's a really old vintage car. It's kind of the right view. And then I found this really interesting concept, which I don't really know. Would that work? Not really sure. Then I will stick this whole thing on a piece of black cardstock. Next up, I have got the butterfly, the rainbow butterfly. I don't know what to call it. So I do like these paper butterflies more than I like the realism, like the actual photos of butterflies. This one's not a photo, this is like a piece of jewelry, but we are gonna go ahead with the paper butterflies just simply because they're so colorful and I'd love it to play off of the rainbow road here. So why don't we go ahead and figure out some placement for these. Okay, we will put this under the mat. Oh no! To dry and flatten. Next up is a bit of a different one. I was having a tricky time figuring out what I wanted to do with this one because I don't want them all to be like with just a collage of things in the background or whatever. I'd like some variation, and it seems like that's where my brain kept going, is what can I collage behind? And I know that's what this is called, but I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say. But I just wanted a little bit of a different vibe for some of them. And then when I came across this idea, I really liked it. It might look a little bit unfriendly, I guess I'll say. But I think it will also look cool. Okay, let's see how this fits. Okay. I am here for this. I'm really liking this. And I'm glad that I went with this van image at the last minute, because that's pretty cool looking. For this one, I did cut out a few more cupcakes of varying sizes, and I just wanted to kind of play with their placement. So I painstakingly cut out all of these little leaves. That took so long, and a couple of them did fall off, so I'll have to paste them on after the fact. But my idea for this one And I guess I could go ahead and glue this guy in right away because I know where he's going and there won't be anything behind him directly. There we go. Now that I think reads a lot better. Because I want this dinosaur head to come around the frame. I really enjoy how this particular guy, he's kind of like shifted to the side, and it almost looks like he's shifted because this guy wanted to be in the frame, you know? So it's like, hey, you're in my way. And I kind of like the way that that kind of reads. I want to get these earths in here. So I'm going to have 3 earths, or they could just be planets. I'm going to have them floating in the river. I thought that could be really fun. So I'm just going to do a little zigzaggy line as if waves, you know? Then I'm going to use this as my background, which I was hoping that this would, like, it's just so flat across, and I guess maybe I could try, you know, making it look like forest back there. How would we do that? Now I'm going to be cutting off that text, so I don't have to glue the entire thing on the cardstock, which is nice because then I can make the most out of the cardstock that I have. How do you guys, what would you guys recommend, I should say, for like preserving these or giving them the longest life possible? Because all of the little corners and stuff, they're not 100% glued down. But I guess another question would be like, should I, like, I don't know, laminate them? Or like, do you have any other ideas on how I can preserve them and extend their life? Because I wouldn't mind, like, I'd really like to sell some collages. But I want to make sure that I can, like, give people a long-lasting product, like not something that's just gonna fall apart in 6 months. So yeah, I guess that's my question. If you have any ideas on how I could preserve these. All right, let's have a browse through all of our, what am I calling this series? The Close Shave series. I think that's really funny. So our big one, the butterflies, I really like the way that this one turned out with the colors and stuff, and I could utilize some of the like background, foreground elements, which is what I look for in this kind of collage. This one is like a prehistoric space thing. I really love how this dinosaur comes around the frame. That's my favorite part of this one. This cupcake one, this is probably one of my lesser favorites, but I still like it. I still think it's kind of cool, and the frosting gives that ice effect. We've got this one. I just like the way that this one looks with like the canoe and this tribal pole. And this one was cool too because I had put an extra background in there and it meshed really well. Even the sunlight, that's also something that's really tricky when you're putting 2 backgrounds together, is matching the level of sunlight and the direction of sunlight, and I think this one actually works decently. This one, also I think one of my favorites. It's a little sinister looking because there's like a giant fire in the mountains, but just visually I think it looks kind of neat. and the fire coming out of the sink. I don't know. I like that one. This one is also one of my favorites. This one just has prehistoric animals hanging around this guy as he's shaving in, I don't know, the Badlands. This one was my very first one to start this whole series off. I could have probably used one more element in here, but it was my first one, so I guess was just starting out with the idea. I could have cut out the sink to have the water come through, but like I said, it was kind of all a discovery process, and I like the way I framed the lightning. And then the last one, I think this one might also be one of my lesser favorites. This one is just a guy in the marshlands with frogs around. So these are my close shave series, and I quite like them. I think they're really fun and interesting and different from a lot of other things, and I do think that they would work really well in like a gallery in a bathroom. I know people don't usually put galleries in bathrooms, but this could be really interesting and a bit of a conversation piece. So this is my close shave collection. I'm curious which one you guys will think is your favorite. So why don't you guys just take a look and kind of let me know which one did you like the most and what elements did you like the most. So thank you guys so much for watching. You have no idea how much I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!